UAE's President and Vice President discuss national development. Department of Economic Development to launch Dubai's Consumer Confidence Index. And a train collision kills 7 and leaves more than 70 injured in South India. This is 7 National News. In our top story this evening, President His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan received Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum in Al Ain yesterday. The meeting was attended by Abu Dhabi Crown Prince and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, General His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and Their Highnesses the Supreme Council members and rulers of various emirates. The President reviewed with the Vice President and Prime Minister the progress of the National March of Action for the development and welfare of the country and its citizens. He also received Their Highnesses, the Crown Princes and Deputy Rulers of various emirates in the UAE. There's barely 2 weeks to go before the new FNC officials are elected for the coming term, so the National Election Committee is hard at work training employees and volunteers on the election system and procedure. According to them, this will ensure smooth voting of the candidates. And 4 years after the first election was held, officials say many more nationals are prepared to do their share for the UAE. Khadija Salih has this report.
The National Election Committee put in place a training program to organize and prepare those who will be involved in the entire voting process on election day at the 13 voting centers across the UAE. Dr. Saeed Al-Ghafli, Assistant Undersecretary for FNC and member of the NEC, is among those hard at work in reviewing the guidelines and training nationals.
Today, the training was specified for the head of the election center and their assistants. Actually, the training today covered many areas. Covered how the process will be in the election center, how the opening and the closing process. Trained the head of the center and their assistants how to use the poll book stations, how to deal with the election machine. All these things being covered in our training today.
While the employees and volunteers are taking notes and familiarizing themselves with the procedure and technology to be used, candidates are intensifying their campaign. Among them is 42-year-old Hashim Al-Reda, who established a career in the government and is specialized in the energy and transportation sectors.
I understand how government functions and how government works. I would be better off. I would be better than any other candidate, because most of the candidates might be dealing with the government. But since I'm already a government employee and I've moved through many government sectors, I understand the functioning of the government and I understand what are the services that the government provides and how a government should effectively make the large population happy, whether they're locals or expatriates.
According to him, if elected, he intends to serve the UAE by bringing something new to the table with his open door policy. And during the campaign period, he says he's making it a point to meet the voters personally.
As an FNC member, I want to be I want to listen very carefully and be an impartial listener, so that I can provide the correct consultative services to the government and an effective one. I would like them to vote for change. I would like them to vote for integrity and loyalty. And I would like them to vote for me.
The competition is stiff, with 124 candidates in the running in Dubai alone and only 4 positions to fill. Thus, the intensive training for Election Day will continue during the week to ensure a smooth election.
According to FNC officials, the upcoming election encouraged a significant number of UAE nationals to step forward and find out what more they can do for the UAE. This is evident in the number of candidates running for office this year, as well as the number of volunteers taking part in the electoral process. On September 24, Emiratis will go out and vote for the best candidates who they think will better serve the country as well as become their voice. Khadija Salih, 7 National News.
Dubai customs inspectors at Dubai International Airport foiled 3 separate attempts to smuggle drugs packed in capsules and hidden inside 3 passengers. Director of the Passenger Operations Department at Dubai Customs, Ali Al-Mugawi, said that the 2.5 kilograms of heroin were found in a total of 219 capsules. 169 were detected with 2 Asian passengers and 50 capsules were seized from an African female passenger. The smugglers, along with the seizure investigation reports, were transferred to the Anti-Narcotics Office at Dubai International Airport. Further investigations revealed that the 3 suspects were intending to hand over the narcotics to their accomplices. NOL cards, which are needed to use all modes of public transport, including the metro and public buses in Dubai, will now be available at petrol stations in the Emirate. According to a local report, Abdullah Al-Madani, CEO of Corporate Technical Support Services sector at Dubai's RTA, said that the new steps have been taken to ensure that NOL cards are easily available to public transport passengers across the Emirate. Previously, the NOL cards were sold only at metro and bus stations and vending machines at bus stops. The RTA has signed an agreement with Emirates National Oil Company ENOC to sell NOL cards at 90 ENOC and EPCO stations, as well as Zune convenience stores at the metro stations. The Abu Dhabi Food and Control Authority, in collaboration with the Farmers Services Centre, have launched Zera'atona, a campaign that aims at promoting sustainable agriculture strategy in the Emirate. The campaign encompasses a variety of initiatives to improve agricultural productivity, with a focus on minimising water and consumption and discouraging the use of chemical fertilisers and pesticides. In addition, it also aims at promoting locally produced fruits and vegetables in the UAE market. Authorities have also underlined a set of specific targets that the campaign hopes to achieve. By 2013, water usage for agriculture is intended to be reduced by 40%. In addition, 2014 will witness 90% of local produce being at par with international standards. According to representatives, both the FCA and ADFCA are striving towards achieving a sustainable environment.
It's a campaign that will, put together a different kind of new technology and also best practice that we've learned from the world. We'll try to achieve this through different kind of channels through media, communication, face-to-face communication, and that will be done through both of us, Abu Dhabi Food Control Authority and also Farming Service Center of Abu Dhabi. And our aim from this is to reach sustainability in agriculture and sustainability in the environment. And doing so and putting together such campaign, I think will give us a good chance to transfer the knowledge and transfer the information for different part of this audience.
Looking to news abroad now, India's railway minister said on Wednesday he would direct his personal attention into the probe of a train collision in southern Tamil Nadu state. The minister was addressing reporters in the national capital, New Delhi. The injured were brought to the government hospital for treatment, where doctors and medical teams from adjoining districts also extended their support. The railway minister said that he would travel to the accident site as quickly as possible. He also announced monetary compensation for the victims. An investigation is underway to see whether the locomotive driver rested well before coming on duty. At least 7 people are killed and over 70 injured in the crash. And staying with India, more than a dozen people were killed on Tuesday in a bus accident in India's Jammu and Kashmir state. A rescue operation was in full swing to save the lives of the injured passengers who were on a bus which skidded off the road and rolled into a deep gorge. The injured passengers were rushed to the government medical college in the Jammu region. Witnesses said a goat came in the way of the bus and the driver took a sharp turn to avoid it. The rescue teams were led by officials of the Indian Army and the state police force. Up next, we have the day's business news for you, so stay with us.